A fundraiser for the iconic Yenna Chiren House is happening on August 12th at Hannibal's Kitchen in downtown Charleston. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down one-on-one with Elder Carlie Towne with the Gullah Geeche Angel Network. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores, or listen to this interview later on the free iHeartRadio app. Elder Carlie Towne.
Yes.
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to be here with you.
I appreciate it greatly.
Yes.
Well, you know, I see you around town a lot here in downtown Charleston.
Yes.
And the last time I did the interview, if you remember when we did it outside Mary Square.
Yes, we
and
did.
I had one of my tooth extractions.
Okay, yes.
I was so much pain.
Oh,
you know,
but you did it.
You know, thank God. And I'm alive.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus. Glory to God.
I know, right?
But you've been busy around town.
Yeah.
What is it like to be you these days?
Well, it's empowering, enlightening, and grateful. I'm grateful to be me these times. Yes, it's really, I think that I could say that from the time that I was born until now, I have really found my purpose at this time in my life. And I'm really enjoying every moment of it. So, I mean, I'm excited about everything. Yes.
You talk about purpose. What is that purpose right now in your mind?
Well, my purpose right now is to encourage the young people to utilize the resources that we have. You know, we always talk about what we don't have, but one thing we do have is our Gullah culture. And I think that the young people should realize that it's a very, very important thing that they should know. They should create from it, like everybody else create from their culture. And, you know, make a statement that we be Gullah Geeche anointed people and that we have this rich culture that we can utilize and we can meet people and prepare for the future.
You talk about the future. What is the state of the Gullah Geeche culture in your mind?
Well, I think it's, I just told somebody, it's a renaissance. It's becoming even more vibrant and more people are understanding what it really is, a real culture, and that we have a Gullah Geeche nation. So it's vibrant.
Yes, ma'am, indeed. And you talk about vibrant. Let me take you to August 12th. You posted this on your Facebook page recently. You said this quote. This is the quote, Yenna Chiren House. I got it right, thank God. Please come to our fundraiser given by the Gullah Geeche Angel Network, August 12th, 2018, 69 Hannibal's, 16 Blake Street in Charleston, South Carolina. We're going to raise the roof on this house. And you know, obviously, your Gullah Geeche culture there. This is for the good for all. What is so significant about the Yenna Chiren House in your mind?
Well, the significance of it is that I believe that as an elder in the Gullah Geeche Nation, and I'm supposed to work with the community and help them understand more about who they are, and help them create new spaces for Gullah Geeche culture. Okay. So Yenna Chiren House is going to be a space where we can come and discuss who we are. Not just us, but we can connect with other people, with the diaspora. Right. We can actually learn all the old things that I used to learn when I was a little girl, you know, like how to cook red rice, you know, how to sew, talk about culture and the importance of it in our community. So it's going to be a space, a safe space, where we can discuss who we are.
Who is Gullah Geeche these days?
Well, Gullah Geeche, the Gullah Geeche people are from Cape Fear, North Carolina, all the way to Jacksonville, Florida, and 30 to 35 miles. And along that coast, you will find Gullah Geeche people, you know. And we are those enslaved Africans who were brought here, brought here from Africa, West Africa, to talk, you know, to do the rice. And the thing about it is that we brought so much with us when we came. That's why we still have this rich culture. And we have the highest retention of African tradition in America. And so we need to know that. A lot of times people don't realize what we really have. But I'm here to tell them that we got a lot. We just have to make sure that we get our institutions to help us educate And sometimes we have to do it ourselves. You know, I saw a need, and I'm willing to fulfill that need any way I can.
What are those institutions in your mind right now? And if you were to sit down with them one-on-one, what would be your first question to them?
Well, the presence of Gullah Geeche. They need to have more education and empowerment things about culture.
Okay.
We need to have more things that say the Gullah Geeche culture is here, you know, in Charleston, in South Carolina, I should say, in Georgia, in North Carolina, you know, and Florida. So there's some work being done, and I don't want to dismiss that work, but there's always more work to do, you know, and like I said, I stand at the forefront of trying my best to educate, empower, and enlighten our community about the culture. Now, the Gullah Geeche Nation is doing a great job of that. Queen Quet,
Oh, yeah.
chiefess of the Gullah Geeche Nation. Matter of fact, on August 3rd through the 5th, she's having an International Gullah Geeche Music and Movement Festival,
Wow.
which is going to be at the Charleston Music Hall.
Right.
And you will come and you will learn a lot about Gullah Geeche culture. Those are the kinds of things that we're doing. We're doing festivals. We're doing workshops.
Okay.
And we have spaces, we already have some spaces now that do educate people about Gullah Geeche culture, but there's not enough. We need more.
Why the festival? Why now?
Well, why not now? The reason, because it's a time, this is again one of those ways that we can educate the community. So anytime that we see a space and a time, we'll do what we got to do to let people know about the Gullah Geeche culture. That is exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
And when you think of this community right now, what plays in your mind?
When I think of this community, well, I see a vibrant community, great economic opportunities. Sometimes a little hidden, but we have to be at the table or we'll be on the menu. So we have to come to the table more so we can learn about those resources that are part of the community that we as Gullah Geeche people need to have to continue to do our culture.
Let me stay in the community. Obviously, I guess it was a month ago on Juneteenth, when the city of Charleston basically apologized for slavery. When you look back at that to right now, what sticks out in your mind?
Well, you know, I always like people to apologize. But if you hit me and you apologize that I got hurt, I need to have some compensation for that. You know, I always say reparation is a four-legged table. We just can't do one thing. So I encourage them to continue to do what they're doing as far as apology, but there's some more stuff that needs to be, you know, done. In other places where you have rich culture, a lot of times they have a special funding set aside, you know, for those particular cultural things that need to be done in the community. So I would suggest that, you know, more funds. You know, we need to have more funds because that's what it takes. That's why I'm having a fundraiser.
Okay.
Because it takes money to fix these old houses. It takes money to go and travel from place to place to tell people about the culture. A lot of time people like myself and people who are traditionalists, they spend their own money doing this. That could be very, very, you know, you could lose a lot of money that way. But when you love something, you don't care, you just gotta do it. And my thing is just like Nike, I just want to do it.
And obviously last year you had a popular event for the Mojo Arts Festival, Sugar and the Grits.
Yes.
And you know, I always interviewed Vanity for my web show just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
When you think of this year's Mojo Arts Festival, where does your mind go?
Well, one of the things that I have decided to do, I've been doing plays for Mojo for the last 20 years. And I said, you know, Carlie, you need to pass this on. The knowledge that you have, how I started,
Right.
what tools I used to make it happen when I didn't have finances. So I'm working with other young film artists, playwrights, and this year I'm working with Christina Washington, and she's doing a play, and it's called Unbroken Chain. Out of This World is wonderful. So passing it on to the next generation so that they can continue this tradition. And everything that I do when it comes to play is done in Gullah and Geeche and English, because you know we bilingual.
Right.
Okay, and then I always use the local people.
Okay.
I always use the local people because really you don't have a lot to do. They already got the language, you know. So So that's where it's taking us this year, and that's going to be October 6th.
Right.
And it's going to be, we'll talk more about that in the future. And maybe you can get Christina to come in and talk about it, you know?
There you go.
Yes.
And you talk about the future. What's that one headline to describe your future?
Well, my future is I have 2 grandsons, and they don't live here. So the future for me is to make sure that they are aware who they are and whose they are. And especially my son, you know, to continue to empower him to do the great things that he's a filmmaker in Atlanta.
Right.
And he's working with Lee Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
And this year he went to get a SAG card so he can become an actor. So to encourage him and the children. And you know, my grandchildren is my grandchildren, but I see all children as my children, because you know my son was killed in 2005. So I always, when I see a young man, I always think about the things that my son would have done. So I try to encourage, I try to empower them to do the best that they can do, because we can. Everything we need is within us. Everything we need is within us. And we just have to block out the outside, because everything is coming from inside, but we think it's coming from outside. So we have to block out those negative things and take those tools that we have, that God has given us, and use it for the good of man.
Elder Carlie Towne, thank you so much for your time. I really, really, really appreciate this.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and you keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you greatly.
I appreciate you. And don't forget, oh, you know what?
Go talk
I just wanted to say I'm going to have food at the April 12th event.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have like an option of vegan. So we have Imam Aliel is going to do, she's from the old Hebrew Israelite restaurant.
Okay.
And she's going to do some vegan food. And then we have my sister Michelle is coming all the way from New York, and she's going to do the regular southern potato salad. And my sister Savannah is the host.
Yes.
And we also have DJ Arthur Chisholm.
Oh, yes.
All these are my friends and family. But the most important thing is that Hannibal's has allowed me to do this. And I want to thank them so much for being, you know, so open and creating a space for us to come in and raise the roof on the house and the children.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. That was good. Oh, you're welcome. That was really good. Awesome.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you.
I'm gonna cry
Uh-oh.
because you came to me and called me and asked me. And, you know, not many people do. No, I ain't crying on this.
Yeah. Cut us off.